Hello there, welcome to part 20 on J Huxley's Essays in Popular Science, Aldous Huxley's Brave New World, on these last chapters on final thoughts about how it applies to us today and what we can do about it. I was talking about the old world control system involving religion and brutality and fear in order to control the masses, which are us, to control our ancestors, if you want to put it that way, how they lived, and how the methods and that they will go through, these world controllers, these psychopaths, if you want to put it that way, to the extent that they will go through to make sure that they keep us in place. Brutal control system. I live in England. I've seen the London dungeons. I mean, it's quite fun to go there, for a day out. But I remember going there when I was quite young as a lad with my mum, and they really had the old. I'm sure they were genuine. The old metal devices where they would, stretch people or compress them, and hang them and cut them, and all sorts of things. Fear of punishment and fear of death. They cut their hands off. They would, cut their bellies open, and you would hear them screaming. And they'd probably stick a head outside of the dungeon so that when the peasants walked past, they would see this is the person that said something about the king. That he didn't like, or this is a person that, was a so-called witch, maybe because they were contradicting the Bible. And that's the old control system. So, and I think we do make a mistake in thinking that these scientists are, this new world that we're in, this brave new world, is run by people who, some people may think that they are genuinely benevolent and they care about humanity, but no, I think that, the power elite have changed tactics, basically. They've changed tactics because they believe it's far more effective to rule your patient subtly and use technology and science, because I think, as Alan Watts says, they've always been far more advanced than we've believed to be, and a lot of the inventions and sciences that they were throwing out in the 19th and 18th centuries, they probably already had them 100 years before then. They were confident that they could do it, so they've been working on it. Some people say even the Renaissance, at that time in the 14th century, they were really, they had a lot of these inventions under their belts and were ready to introduce us to them, this new scientific world order that they were going to establish. So yeah, we've been living in a prison where we can't see the bars. We've been living in a human zoo, and we forgot we're in a zoo. We forgot that we were slaves, because as the saying goes, controllers fed us more bread and gave us more circus, made life pleasurable in a very basic level of having enough to eat and having fun things to do, having nice things, kept us docile, and also drugging us through the big pharma, hypnotising us through the television. These are all, inventions, and so that has to be registered. You have to realise that. But as I said, it's a script. We're going through a script, a well-planned, rehearsed script, step by step. You can see that, in the 70s, free love, promiscuity, and then divorce rates continued, and technology kind of stepped up a level from the 70s to the 80s, 90s. I can see it as a script. But we are not quite there yet. There's hope. Because as I was saying, a scientific dictatorship, as brutal as the old world order dictatorship is far more dangerous, far more dangerous. Because the goal here is to completely own your mind. If a Brave New World is to, if Aldous Huxley, and those, because he just represents the power elite, doesn't he? It's people above him. If this is for real, they want to own our biology. They want to own our bodies. They want to own our genetics. They want to control whether we produce or not. Once they have that, it's the cap is the capstone is on the pyramid, and the New World Order, the grand work, as some Freemasons call it, I think is complete, because they want to own us. They want full control of our bodies. Scientific, biological dictatorship. Yeah, it's far more dangerous than the way they've ruled human beings from the past. And just think what could happen. I mean, the more people that have fertility problems, and we can maybe talk about that another time, how it happens with the genetically engineered food, with the vaccines and all of that. And we're all being kind of subjected to it. But the more people that happens to, the more power for science and the powers behind that science. For example, couples, that go for IVF treatment, they're putting their trust in science, and this is where the whole design a baby thing can start, because you can do a genetic screening test to make sure you're fit to reproduce. I mean, that can mean many things. Are you criminally minded? You have suffered from mental health in the past. And what does criminally minded mean? Does that mean anti-government, conspiracy theorist? Does it mean you're a free thinker? So they could completely put a stop to your genetics and put a stop to your family tree, your bloodline. They can decide whether you continue or not. That's control, So they don't like you because you think too much, and you're not the epsilon that doesn't think, then that could be a problem. The power's in their hands. So the more power the gives of this, the faster they're going to reach their goal, I think. I noted here the final solution. The final solution is owning your biology, total ownership of your body, and with that comes your mind and your spirit. I believe spirit can, mean your free will, free thinking, creative, artistic abilities, your ability to dream, to think outside the box, your ability to think about other dimensions of yourself and your reality, and your ability to feel these other realities, this creativity that's in us, in a lot of artists, a lot of people that are eccentric, that's what the spirit is. It's to be free, to be a free individual, free thinking human being. Because in the past, well, I guess they owned your body for fear of punishment and fear of death, but they didn't really own you, did they? That's why they had to beat you down and put so much fear into you. They didn't own your spirit. And there have always been free spirits in the past that have, put out the message that, they don't own you, really. It's all illusion. But there's a real possibility that, once they get full access to your biology, they can own you. They can shape you how they see fit. And so the question arises, do you want this to be a reality? Do you want to live in a brave new world? Do you want to live in a brave new world? Do you want to? Because I believe, yeah, we're approaching the threshold, and once we cross the line, there may be no turning back. And that's one of the, the motivating reasons why I'm making this video, as well as to speak my truth. I believe we have to do this now. Yeah, we choose. Right now, on a day-to-day basis, we are choosing our future. The little things that you think are little are big things, and the choices that we make will echo down the road on humanity. So when you see people on TV in huge crowds barging and trampling over each other to get the latest iPad, those actions, those choices that they're making, if they are making their own choices, will echo down the centuries later. These are big choices that we're making to put all our attention and trust in this kind of technology. First it's the latest iPad, an iPhone, and people not knowing that, next it could be the latest iChip, iChip. And then what about the children or the grandchildren? Because how are they going to fight this, is what I'm saying, when it's completely normal. Let's continue that on part 21.